This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Home prices in Wisconsin are 10% higher than they were a year ago. The Wisconsin Realtors Association says the median priced home in Wisconsin is about $300,000. The report points to a low supply of homes and higher interest rates. Richland County leaders say they face a potential economic crisis as UW-Platteville prepares to vacate its former branch campus. State Senator Kelda Roys says the UW system is reneging on expensive long-term commitments.
The legislature hasn't even begun to reckon with the financial impact that this is going to have on those local communities and the local governments who are now left holding the bag. Richland County leaders say a recent $2 million grant from the state does not absolve the UW of its obligations. Officials from the Green Bay area are in Detroit for the NFL draft. The big event will be in Wisconsin next year, and the people putting it on are getting an idea of what it takes to pull it off. It's not just government and tourism officials, but also owners and managers of restaurants, bars, hotels, and security companies. Donald Trump campaigns in Wisconsin next week, which suits Wisconsin Democratic Party Chairman Ben Wickler just fine.
The more they find out what Donald Trump is promising to do to Americans if he wins again, the more voters move towards Democrats.
Republican Chair Brian Schimming says President Biden visits Wisconsin so often because he's in trouble here.
It's not because they're confident in Wisconsin. It's because they know they're in trouble in Wisconsin. There's no doubt about that.
The two spoke at a WisPolitics luncheon Thursday. 4 Wisconsin technical colleges will use $75,000 to train young firefighters. The Youth Volunteer Firefighter Training Program aims to boost recruits for rural volunteer fire departments. They're having a hard time attracting and retaining firefighters. Wisconsin is getting more than $4.5 million from Washington to help save coastline habitats. One project in Iron County will help buy and manage more than 1,000 acres of Lake Superior coastline. The rest of the money will go toward restoring the upper part of the Valley Creek corridor and reducing the risk of flooding. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Now here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. The University of Wisconsin-Superior officially broke ground on its new stadium on Thursday. Construction on the Superior Choice Credit Union Stadium has been delayed for about a year, leading to an additional $2 million price tag on the over $7 million project. The field will be made with artificial turf so the soccer and lacrosse teams can use it longer into the season, and will also have a 9-lane track. Officials expect that construction should last through the summer, and the stadium should be open in September. The Duluth Junk Hunt is officially underway at the Duluth Entertainment Convention Center. The event will run from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Friday and Saturday this week at the DECC. It will feature over 150 vendors selling a variety of items like furniture, artwork, clothes, food, and more. A portion of the proceeds from the event will go towards Second Harvest Northern Lakes Food Bank. Another Junk Hunt event will also be held this fall. Tickets can be purchased online for $5 or at the door for $7. City of Duluth officials are hoping their Get Downtown Week not only gets more residents out into the community to support local businesses, but also improves the overall safety of the area. According to a Northern News Now report, some residents have expressed concerns about things like panhandling in the downtown area, keeping them away. Officials say that more foot traffic in the area should improve overall safety, but the Duluth Police Department also increased their patrols. Get Downtown Week runs through Saturday. Duluth Mayor Roger Reinert delivered his first State of the City address on Thursday, mainly focusing on housing issues the city is facing. During the speech, Mayor Reinert announced there would be no property tax increases in Duluth in 2025 and called for more single-family homes to be built in the downtown area. The city and private partners are hoping to add more than 1,000 new residents to the downtown area, along with more retail locations. The speech also covered commercial tax, streets, and utilities. The Boys and Girls Club of the Northland has unveiled its new esports gaming room at its Lincoln Park facility. According to a Northern News Now report, the lounge includes monitors, gaming consoles, and a variety of games for the kids to enjoy. Officials say gaming will give the kids an opportunity to improve their critical thinking, fine motor skills, and problem-solving abilities. The club will also be competing in esports against other clubs and some schools, giving the kids an opportunity to be part of a team. This week, the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association voted down a measure that would have allowed high school student athletes to receive compensation for the use of their name, image, and likeness. St. Croix Falls Athletic Director Tara Rose had this to say on the legal issues the approval of the measure could have caused.
I do not feel equipped as an athletic director to help my student athletes, and my parents navigate this rule accurately.
A popular Duluth bakery is set to open a new facility just across the bridge. According to a Northern News Now report, Duluth's Best Bread will open a new bakery on Tower Avenue in Superior, taking over the space formerly occupied by Twisted Pastries. To gauge community interest in the new location, the bakery held a pop-up event in March to give residents a preview of what the fully opened location can offer them. The new bakery is scheduled to open on May 28th and will be open Tuesday through Sunday from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. A Northland County animal shelter is offering discounts on adoptable dogs who are at least 1 year old. Currently, the animal shelter has about 20 dogs that they're caring for, but it can only take in a total of 27, so space is beginning to run short. Officials are hoping the discount will encourage more potential adopters to consider the older dogs, which are always more difficult to pair with a new home. The older dogs are all spayed and neutered, up to date on vaccines, and microchipped. The sale has been extended through Sunday. And that's what you need to know. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
The Bucks in Indy. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Game 3 of the Bucks and the Pacers as their playoff series tips off tonight in Indianapolis. Damian Lillard.
First, you got to understand every game is going to be a tough game. Anytime you go on another team's home floor, you got to know that they're going to be more comfortable. They're going to be more confident. They're a team that already plays fast. They're going to play a little bit faster at home. And I think that's when we got to lean on our experience.
The series stands 1 game apiece. Baseball. Brewers and the Yankees at AmFam Field tonight. Football, rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL draft. Coming up, the Packers using their first pick on Arizona offensive tackle Jordan Morgan.
Feels so great. I've been watching David Bakhtiari, following him and studying his play. So, it feels like such an honor to be able to go to Green Bay and play. Packers
GM Brian Gutekunst.
To me, it was just, I think we needed to add some things to that group, and Jordan just fit us.
That's Brian Gutekunst. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Disgraced movie producer Harvey Weinstein's 2020 convictions for sexual assault and rape have been overturned in New York State. The New York Times reports that Weinstein's lawyer claims that he did not receive a fair trial. The Miramax founder was sentenced to 23 years in prison after being convicted in February of 2020. Weinstein, however, is not going anywhere since he was also convicted for sex crimes in California and will remain in prison. An Oregon woman is $1 million richer after remembering she stashed a lottery ticket in a Tupperware container. People.com reports that 52-year-old Leslie Carr said she wouldn't have remembered at all if she hadn't heard an announcement about a $1 billion Powerball winner on TV, saying, "I would have totally forgot since we never check our tickets." You have a small enough chance to win the lottery as it is, but even less of a chance if you don't check your tickets, folks. Carr says she and her husband will pay off their house and buy tickets to Hawaii. I hope they're electronic. If you're making weekend plans and are in Northeast Wisconsin or don't mind a short road trip, check out An Evening with John McGivern Friday night, April 26th at the Ashwaubenon Performing Arts Center. The host of Main Streets on PBS and former host of Around the Corner tells funny stories about his life growing up in Milwaukee in a big Irish Catholic family and his prolific show business career. Tickets can be purchased at TicketStarOnline.com. Quick fashion tip: if you appear on a podcast, don't go commando, especially if you're wearing baggy shorts. Travis Kelce and comedian Andrew Santino recently discussed Kelce's appearance on Santino's podcast a few years ago, where Kelce was literally hanging out. Santino and his editor decided not to reshoot, but just put a big Kansas City Chiefs logo over Kelce's ballular area. That's a medical term. Look it up. Kelce laughed as he recalled the incident, saying he had no idea at the time. Yeah, sure. If you're looking for something to watch this weekend and no new films or TV shows grab your attention, why not go retro? The 1979 classic Alien is opening again this weekend. The release is to celebrate the film's 45th anniversary. Alien was directed by Ridley Scott and stars Sigourney Weaver, Veronica Cartwright, Tom Skerritt, and John Hurt. If you're lucky enough to live near a theater showing Alien, you will also be treated to an interview with director Ridley Scott before the showing of the film. Kathy Lee Gifford spoke to Entertainment Tonight this week about her new book titled I Want to Matter. Your life is too short and too precious to waste. Gifford said she finally found forgiveness for her late husband Frank Gifford's affair with a flight attendant. To be clear, the affair happened before Frank passed away. I love the way tabloids choose their words. Kathy Lee is an accomplished host and author and creator of Kathy Lee Casuals, which do not offer menswear. So rude. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 7 to 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Cloudy and breezy with scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms by late this afternoon into this evening. Our high today 56 with wind out of the southeast gusting to near 35. Showers and thunderstorms tonight. Our low down to 50. Tomorrow it'll be partly cloudy, breezy, warmer with scattered thunderstorms at a high near 70. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Current temperature 44.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio.